All right, guys, how are you doing?
Doing well.
Yeah.
Took a nice little stroll today. Weather warmed up enough here in Columbus, Ohio that I could get outside.
Deacon?
Yeah, it's great here. We had a little cold front come through, got a little snow overnight, but it's melting quickly and sunny again.
Here's what I want to do. I want to go by the numbers. I know we just did the February and March update, but for those who missed the income report, let's just do quick March. Where did we wrap up? Top line. We'll start with Dr. Ziegler, and then bottom line, and then I'll have some other questions for you guys. But I also just want to follow up on another conversation that we had. So, yeah, let's just get some numbers out there for the people.
So I believe it was around top line 24,500-ish. That's just off the top of my head. And we were down about 1%, 10% from February. A couple of reasons why we were down. We can get into that later. But decided to change our strategy in the middle of the month, which helped us out tremendously. And we're kind of battling something right now that is causing that drop in income. And we overcame it on April 1st, and it doubled our sales. So it's a constant battle that we're going through right now.
Okay, we'll go. I'm super curious about the down 10% and the battling. Bottom line, Deacon, do you know where we were at?
It's the same. You heard that a little bit in the income report. But yeah, bottom line is basically the same. And it's the same because we look at it every single week and just kind of tune things to make sure we're where we need to be.
Right on. Okay, let's get into it. I want to know, first, now you can't say battling it without me wondering, like, what were you guys battling, and who did what? Yeah, was it Amazon? Was it Doc? Was it Deacon? What created it all?
It was nothing any of us did. It was our customers. So we've talked about it in the past. We're in the paid market. And when you're in a paid market, it's not going to work for everyone. And it's probably not going to work for half the people because people are just unhealthy, unfortunately. And if you want to change any disease, change your diet. It's as simple as that. You have to change what you're eating to change any disease. And that includes acid reflux. So they look at our supplement as the magic pill. And it's not going to be a magic pill. It's a supplement. It supplements an already healthy diet. So with that being said, our reviews dropped. And every time you drop a half a star on Amazon, it like cuts your conversion rate, cuts your traffic. And most of the time you're battling in between the 4 and the 4.5 star reviews. And that's a good product. You're battling between that 4 and 4.5 stars. So if you're at 4.5 stars, it will like double your sales than if you're at 4. Well, what we're battling between is the 3.5, 4 star. So when we dropped to 3.5 star, we noticed a significant drop in our sales. And it was to the point that one of the weeks that we had only $200 profit because we were still being aggressive in the advertising. I wouldn't say we didn't notice the drop, but we did notice the drop, but we didn't think it was going to affect our sales that much. So when we reviewed our numbers that Monday, our profit was only $200, like $230. We need that to be at $650 to cover all expenses, including our loan payment. And we're like, okay, let's shift this strategy significantly. And so we literally just I went into Google Ads and just dropped the budgets in half. We were spending close to $300 a day. I literally dropped it to like $150 a day. And our profit the next week went up to about $1,200 for the week. So good sign. And I was like, what would happen if I dropped it even more? So I dropped it another 25% and our profit went up to like $1,300 for the week. Sales continued to go down. I think we were at 7,000 top line. The week we did only 200 in profit, but then the last week I think we did around 4,800 to 5,000 for the week, but our profit was up significantly. This is all off the top of my head. I don't have the sheet in front of me, but then on April 1st, we went from 3.7 stars to 3.8 stars. And that little bit, that 0.1 shifts you from a 3.5 star appearance to a 4 star appearance. And so when you up to that 4 star appearance, your sales are going to double again. So on April 1st, we had another $1,000 day. And it was like, oh, we're back. And it was because we got a positive review that put us up to 3.8. it was great because we were going up and up, getting good reviews, almost up to 4 stars, and then it was just like bam, 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 like 2 1 stars and a 3-star all at once, and then like it dropped us to 3.7, dropped our sales. So that's what we've been battling is reviews and just trying to get better reviews from customers that are actually taking a long time. There's a lot of review strategies we're doing, everything by the books, but essentially what we're doing is we're just giving our product to people and saying, give us an honest review. And that's what we're doing to build up our reviews again. And they may not give us a 5-star, but we hope that they will. And so we've just been giving a lot of product away right now.
Are you guys giving that product away to like just people you meet? Is it like, is there a strategy around it? Like, how are you guys giving the product away?
Mostly around like UGC content. So user generated content. We'll find Instagram influencers, TikTok influencers, and just say, hey, will you create a video on our product? Here it is. And we'll give it to them. And then they create the video. And then we're just like, hey, would you mind leaving us an honest review of your experience with the product on Amazon? We're not paying them for the review.
Right.
We are paying them for UGC content. We get that. And then we're just like, hey, could you leave this review over on Amazon too? Just give us your honest review on it. And they do most of the time, not all of them.
Are you, so my biggest question from that, I got a few questions, which was like the Google ad spend, the level to which you reduced it, did it make you guys think, hey, in the future, let's not go up to the $300 a day? Or is it like, hey, just for now, we need to focus on profit? Like, what are you guys seeing as, I don't even want to say return, like, it's not the return on ad spend, but like, did it make you reconsider how much you spend right now on Google ads?
I'll let Deacon answer that one first.
I don't think so. I mean, I pulled up the spreadsheet. Google spend when we pulled back, or I guess total ad spend when we pulled back was maybe like $1,500, whereas before we were spending $2,500 to $3,000 a week. And then last week we only spent $1,100 on ads. So I mean, I guess I kind of see it as like, I don't need like what would I do if I had profit? Well, it's not like a ton of profit, so I'm not gonna like treat myself to a hamburger or something. Right. Like that's the level of splurging we do. But instead it's like, well, let's just pour this back in and like get more. The kind of the name of the game on Amazon is sales velocity. And so we're like, how much speed can we buy? So and then like I can take profit later, or even if I was pouring it back in and sales velocity was going good and we're like, oh my gosh, we need cash. Like we can pull back anytime and create a more profitable week. So I guess because we've kind of been running this business to just pour everything back in to increase sales velocity, I would frankly just spend as much as reasonably possible.
Do you guys remember what the reviews were? Like what they said?
It's always didn't work.
I was too afraid to read them because it's always something unreasonable. Like, I ate a chili dog and it still didn't help. I'm like, okay.
Dipped in coffee.
Yeah.
With hot sauce.
My car still doesn't start.
Yeah. Or something totally irrelevant. Reviews. I hate even not running a business. If I just put myself in consumer mindset about reviews, like I still hate reviews because people just leave the most ridiculous stuff.
You know,
I got one other review thing that drives me nuts. Yeah. So Amazon reviews, right? Like you hear this, how important it is to get from like a 3.7 to a 3.8. We're like, oh, somebody please give us, 4 stars would be amazing. 4 or 5 stars. Like we need it. Hard to get. Then I take like a Uber ride or a Lyft ride or something like this. And you get to the end and like, we're talking, you get in some cars and they're in rough shape. I don't know what the criteria is for like the nice vehicle that I select, nice, quiet, clean ride. And they pull up and you're like, this is not like,
it.
That's not it. And so you get to the end and you'll be like, all right, 4 stars. And instead of accepting the review, the thing is prompting you like, oh my gosh, what was wrong? Tell me what was so awful about this ride. I'm like, awful? Why can't I give someone 4 stars? Because 4 is like a reasonably good thing. But Amazon is like, oh yeah, give me your worst review
Yeah,
possible. Let me
it
just
does.
accept it right away.
Yeah.
Oh, a 1, and it doesn't. There's no follow up questions around like, oh, were you using the product incorrectly or or something? They're just like, great, throw it on the review. Yeah, that's obviously terrible. The Lyft reviews, man.
Yeah.
What was wrong?
I gave
I've
him
never
a
seen
4.
Deacon this fired up.
I knew he
I'm
had
so careful with
5.
how I rate things. And then the app has the nerve to tell me, like, no, unless something was horribly wrong, it's 5 stars. That's not how star rating. Why are there it should just be 1 star or no stars if that's your system.
And
All right, we can move
Amazon's-
on, Justice. We can move
No,
on.
this is great. And Amazon's like, it was a 1 star, wasn't it? Just like, come on, be honest. It was 1. It was a 1 star. Put it in there. I knew Deacon, he has like a pain. He's got a grudge against reviews. I know that for sure. And I think just knowing that you're in a business and you can have a great product, but the sales can be so influenced by someone else's review. It's just kind of like, wait, we built a business on this platform that over incentivizes or over leverages towards reviews. Like, and I get it. You want the customer is always right kind of view, but I mean, I've worked with so many Amazon business owners. It's like, dude, they're just like, especially early on as it's really growing, they could have the best product. People love it. If you get 3 bad reviews in the beginning, you're just like, it really affects the financials, even though your product it works fine. It's great. All that stuff. Your only hope is that the industry that you're in has an average lower review, that it's normal to have lower average reviews. Like there's a few clients we had, Doc, that were like in a place where like the reviews were like a 4 average was normal. And it was like, oh, okay, cool. But you don't see a ton of those. All right. So what you were battling, the reviews, was that what caused you guys to be down 10%? Was that the main thing that is why you guys were down 10%?
Yeah, for the most part, and then the pullback on advertising.
Okay. Now looking ahead, did you guys kind of make your way back to where you were? And so it's just keep the train moving? Or is it like we have not gotten back to where we were, and so we've got to do a few things? So like what's the plan now?
I think we're going to sit tight for now. We're not going to do much changing in the ads. Deacon's going to be working on more direct to Shopify ads because our Shopify ads are great. We don't alter them. That's illegal. It's against the FTC. We don't do anything to them. But again, we're asking the UGC creators just to leave us honest reviews. And we ask them for Shopify reviews. We ask them for Amazon reviews. We're just asking them to leave a review. They're already doing it on their TikTok channel or Instagram channel. Just take it over here. And so our Shopify looks great. I think it's because we can reach out to the person. And so if they leave a 1-star review, we can reach out and say, hey, we'd like to give you a full refund. We take care of them. And so we haven't had a 1-star review on our website. It's 5s, 4s, and 3s. And so Deacon's going to be working on that, Facebook ads direct to Shopify. But for the most part on my end, I'm going to keep Amazon stable where it's at because we're trying to accumulate cash right now. And not to take a paycheck or anything, but we're coming out with our 3rd product now. I think Deacon just ordered it today, and small MOQ, but we needed to get some, this is going to get him ranting again, but Amazon, we haven't sold this product in like 8 months. We sold out of it 8 months ago, and we decided to come back with it because we don't believe that Reflux Essentials and Heidel Health are going to be hero products. They're going to be base hits, maybe doubles, but nothing that we're going to be getting up over 100 sales a day. I believe this next product could, if it hits right. It's got great reviews. We haven't sold it in 8 months, but we sold it without really doing any advertising when we did have some stock. But Amazon suspended us a month ago for no reason, but they need a COA and they won't accept the certificate of analysis from our manufacturer. They need it from one of their manufacturers, or excuse me, one of their labs. And so we have to pay for the MOQ, which isn't that much. And then we have to take 10 of those bottles, send it to their lab to get tested, which is another $2,500
Oof.
on a product that's just kind of a maybe. And it's not, I shouldn't say it's not a maybe. It's going to be the focus of our excess cash now. And so we're going to try to boost that one while still maintaining Reflux Essentials and Hiatal Health. Hiatal Health just doesn't have the search volume. People with hiatal hernias aren't searching for it. They're mostly searching for acid reflux relief because that's what it feels like. And so our acid reflux product, it could be a hero product if we could get the reviews up, but it's a struggle. And we're about a year, we're not quite a year, we're 9 months into selling it. And the repeat order rate's about 10 to 20%, which isn't great. It's not terrible, but it's not great. With iLove, we were at about 38% reorder rate. And like another supplement brand that we're looking to acquire is about 50% reorder rate, which is crazy. That's super high.
Wow.
So when I see those numbers, I'm just like, do we want to keep putting effort into this or just let the machine run it? We just make sure it stays in stock, and then we'll come out with a third product and go from there. And while this third product's coming out, we're going deep into our next brand, looking to buy our next brand. And a lot have come across our table. All of them have been okay. And then just today, Deacon brought us one that we can't talk about that is like perfect for what we're looking for. It's the perfect size. They're not asking too much, which is a big problem in today's market. We had one brand that 100,000 in SDE, which is seller's discretionary earnings. Usually seller discretionary earnings goes for about 2 to 3x multiple because the seller's income isn't coming out of that. That is their income. And it was at like 100,000 and they were asking like 2.3 million, which is a 23x multiple on SDE, which is insane. And that's what we've been coming across. But this brand is actually not overvaluated. It's actually a perfect asking price. And it would be a great, I don't want to call it a platform company yet because it's still smaller, but it's much bigger than what we're doing now. And so lots of exciting stuff coming. We're just deciding to move forward with both of those at the same time. Acquisition, new product.
I love it. Do you guys, okay, so is there a reason why we're not saying what the next product is that you're releasing? You say we're about to come out with our next product. Are we keeping that hidden from the audience, from the people?
Should I do the great reveal?
Deacon's giving me faces that I can't read.
I'm squinting to read Travis's background. I've never seen this one in real life.
Yeah. So it's a total liver supplement for those that aren't watching on video. So total liver supplement, it's pretty much a detoxing and cleansing supplement. And so what people take liver supplements for is if they have like cirrhosis of the liver, fatty liver disease. I can't say this legally because of FDA, blah, blah, blah. But hangovers, things like that are what people usually take a liver supplement for. It detoxes and cleanses your body. I took ours, and this is a great selling point, by the way. It broke me out in hives, meaning like it was detoxing like maybe heavy metals out of my liver, and it was starting to appear on the surface, which was in the form of hives or rashes or something. And that's usually the form of a good detoxing agent, is like you might have done too much maybe. But I took it for about a month, and yeah, I felt better with it. But we only have one bottle left, so I'm like, not
you overdosed on liver support?
I didn't overdose. I just took normal dose. It's just really good.
Okay, sweet. Now I want to know, Deacon, what are your thoughts on while Doc was saying, yep, Deacon just got the liver support, we're about to launch it. You were shaking your head. No,
I didn't order it yet. I feel like I'm stuck in the middle of a big racket from Amazon is what it feels like. And I know you guys are rolling your eyes. Amazon would never do anything like this. They always charge fair and honest fees that are like exactly appropriate. But so right now, as Travis said, like they won't accept our COA. So they're like, so first of all, they come and just like shut down our listing that's not even selling. And then I guess extortion might be the word I'm looking for. And they're like, all right, give me the COA and I'll unlock it. We're all, okay, here it is. Like, oh, no, we won't accept that. We only accept from these 3 labs that we have approved of. I'm really curious to know more about the ownership structure of these labs, by the way, and how this works. Cause like it feels like extortion, frankly. The lab fee is going to cost more than our product. And so, it feels kind of like we're just stuck there. And I'm like, well, gosh, I have to pay this entry ticket price. And it's funny because they're like, oh no, this is required for all supplement sales on Amazon. Well, not all of them, because I'm already selling supplements that don't have this. None of my competitors have it, as far as I know. So the whole thing is just frankly really annoying. And it feels like we're getting shaken down, frankly.
We
I
are.
haven't done it yet. I'm trying to get our manufacturer to pay for it. Because the manufacturers, they do this testing too before they give it to you, and they have to. And like, here's our COA. We have COAs for our other products. I don't know who they use. I know there's no way they're paying $2,500 for one of these, because they just give it to you with your like order, and that would have been just mathematically a ridiculous thing for them to do. Like when we bought Reflux Essentials, or what was the other one we did? Hiatal Health. Yeah, I have COAs for both of those. They're both on Amazon selling, but we're just, gosh, any day now they could come for those products and be like, oh, we need you to run it through this lab, $2,500, pay up. So
And
I'm a little annoyed by it. But
they did the same thing with LadyBiz, and LadyBiz, they took off Amazon and then asked for all this information, and then all of a sudden magically it came back up. They did the same thing with Reflux Essentials. It went away. They suspended it. They said we needed all these things, and then magically it just came back. And it's been the most bizarre thing by Amazon I've ever experienced. I've experienced massive suspensions from Amazon. Like, we were suspended 40 different times in like the case of like 4 months. And
Cool.
Jenna became like this expert at like getting unsuspended, because it was just, we hired an attorney the first couple times, and then it was just like, oh, this is easy. We can just, this is before ChatGPT too. We can just redo the letter, copy it, send it back in, and that worked. But it's funny because we're such a small brand, and that could be why they're coming after us. But it's, we are definitely getting a shakedown from Amazon right now. They tend to come after you for one thing, and then they'll nail every single one of your products, and then they'll leave you alone for like 2 to 3 years. And then they'll come after you again, all your products, and then they'll leave you alone for a little while.
So why would you guys try, instead of launching first to Amazon, just launch straight ads to Shopify with the new product to avoid the 2,500? And just because you're like doing an MOQ, and if that costs more than the MOQ, but you believe in the product, why not just launch to the Shopify site via Facebook ads or whatever other strategy you would do?
We haven't thought about that, but yeah.
Yeah, it never crossed my mind. I will.
Here I am.
I will say this. I would rather launch. So the interesting thing, we have a lot of complaints about Amazon today, right? So it's like, oh gosh, why would anybody bother selling there? And I think the reason is Travis's perpetual sales machine system is so good at creating sales velocity, and that it's like success creates success on Amazon. Like velocity creates velocity. So it feels like you can reach a higher cruising altitude much faster over there. And I would say that is where the bulk of our experiences as a team, because of Travis's system. So that's the main reason. Off of Shopify, it's like, sure, yeah, I've spent a lot of time selling products on Facebook. But what I would say is if I was like, all right, put my agency hat on, and Travis is showing up with Total Liver, wants to sell it, I would be like, no thanks. And the reason is because creating momentum from scratch is really, really difficult on Facebook. As an agency, I wouldn't accept a product like that. It's much smoother to maximize sales that are already going. And so as an agency, like, I would say no thanks, because I need someone else to prove out product market fit, and then it's easy to sell and scale. But to prove out product market fit, like, okay, well, that's me and Travis again, which is going to spend a lot of time going in and like creating the ads, creating all the stuff, and then to find out, does it have legs? And if it does, then great. But if it doesn't, like, man, I just sunk a lot of time, effort, and energy into that. And so I guess just talking through this out loud, you can find product market fit, I think, much easier and faster using Travis's system on Amazon and a marketplace than I could off of Amazon.
Welcome to the brain of Deacon Bradley that I freaking live in. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So
Can I just summarize that as saying, I'm going to summarize that whole thing and just say, I don't want to do the work. I want Travis to do the work.
yeah. Doc, what were you thinking when you were saying that? Because you started smiling, and I was like, I wonder what Doc is thinking.
No, I mean, I completely agree with what Deacon's saying. We already have the systems in place for scaling an Amazon brand. I also agree with him tremendously that gaining momentum from scratch is very hard, even on Amazon, let alone on Shopify. And so it's easier with Amazon only because this product actually has a little bit of momentum. It has reviews. It's 4.8 out of 5 stars.
Oh yeah, we've
Great
already
reviews.
got that. I didn't even think about that. Like it is new
Yeah.
on Amazon, but we have a great listing with great reviews, and man, that's a huge leg up. If it didn't though, Amazon does have some mechanisms to get reviews, which we used for Reflux Essentials.
Oh yeah.
And Shopify Land, like you're off by yourself, figuring it out.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we already have the perpetual sales machine planned out. I haven't completely executed it, but I have the articles planned out. I have the keywords planned out. I haven't started writing emails or anything like that, but I don't know if I will for this one. But the whole perpetual sales machine, Google Ads, blog posts to Amazon strategy is already mapped out to be able to probably get it to 10 to 20 sales a day pretty quickly, like within the first month, and then take it off from there. I mean, it's a product that I have a lot of, I don't know, I feel like it's going to do really well because it's a great product and people are going to get it and they're going to be like, oh, this is a great product. And like I said, what you can do with this product is like take 2 capsules right before you start drinking, take 2 capsules at the end of the night, and you'll wake up with very little hangover as a result. So that's one way you can use it, other than just like a liver detox or a liver cleanse. So there's a lot of different functions that we can kind of market towards.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're going to do with this angle is cleansing, detoxing, liver disease, a little more careful with that. Even cleansing and detoxing, got to be careful with. And then hangover is really easy because you can just say like, take 2 before you drink, take 2 at the end of the night, you're good. So we'll see. There's lots of angles we can hit with this one.
Okay, so I feel like we just solved the question of like, so well, no, we didn't. So the question is it worth the 2,500 to then launch on Amazon?
It's unknowable. I'm really hoping our manufacturer is like, all right, we'll get it tested. But
that'd be awesome. Yes, it is, because I was talking to Deacon about this the other day, and I don't remember when it was. Maybe it was you, Justice. Maybe it was both of you guys. I don't know. Dr. Berry's is like, it's like Monopoly. It's like just play money. Like we're not paying anybody. Nobody's getting paid except for like manufacturers and Amazon and everything. But like, it's kind of a game that we're playing, and we're just trying to see how we can win while still serving a lot of people. Like the whole goal is to serve people, to help them with their acid reflux, to help them with hiatal hernias, to help them with whatever we're trying to solve with the supplement. That's the whole goal. But we're testing different messages. We're testing different things. We're testing different techniques. We're testing different everything with Dr. Berry's, because we're not like, we have to make $1,000 a week to pay our salaries. It's more just like play money. So I was like, Deacon, do we have extra cash to pursue this? And he's like, yeah, I think we do. I was like, okay, let's do it. And so we are, because we're actually slowing down Reflux Essentials, which means our stock that we have will last longer. And so we don't have to think about, like, I think our order was going to be in January, and it's a big order. And so instead of thinking about it in January, we may be able to push that back to June because we slowed it down to focus on this next product. I don't know that for sure. That was just kind of me spitballing.
We won't be able to push it back. Like that January thing was kind of around expiration date of the product. Like that's how many of these things we have. Like we're going to probably have to write off some portion of these. But if you think back a few episodes when we were looking for lower MOQs on Reflux Essentials, this is why. Because when I do make a next order, I've already found the right manufacturer in the right place where I don't need to set aside, what was it, like almost 40 grand for that initial order. I can probably do it for, $5 grand. And so I can take some of this extra cash that we've been accumulating, which is like essentially cost of goods sold in our inventory account, and spend it on launching Total Liver. And yeah, just checking the bank account real quick. We've got like over 25 grand cash here. So I know we talk a lot about like we have nothing. And
Yeah, you guys do. That's a good sign of a good, like we've got a visionary and integrator, and that is when an integrator always sounds like there's nothing there. It means it's like a good integrator. He knows
it's
where
all
the money
it's all
needs to
carefully
go.
placed where it needs to go. Like we've got an
Yes.
inventory account here. I've got debt payments covered. I've got, our next credit card bill covered. Like all of those things are taken care of. But because we found lower MOQs for Reflux Essentials and Hiatal Health, that frees up a huge chunk of that inventory capital that we can actually deploy towards like another product that also has low MOQs. This is why Travis is always trying to tell people, they're like, how do you describe it in your course, Travis? You have this whole lesson on like turning your inventory faster.
Yeah,
And, like, how
inventory turn
important
is
that is.
everything. Inventory turn is everything. And when I went from sunglasses, which had an inventory turn of 9 to 12 months, to my hypochlorous acid, which had an inventory turn of 30 days,
Wow.
the cash flow that it spits out is incredibly fast. And so you actually have more cash as a result. So when you have slow inventory turn, which is the biggest mistake I see with entrepreneurs, they just have slow inventory turn. It takes them, and inventory turn is just simply like, I order 10,000 units. How long does it take me to sell that 10,000 units? If it's 12 months, your cash is going to be low because your cash flow is not multiplying, essentially.
Yeah, it's like tying an anchor to your foot. You're like,
Yes.
oh, great, cost of goods sold, but you still got an anchor tied to you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
going through this thing right now. I'll show you guys this when I'm in Columbus next week. But it's essentially like a financial analyst course.
Oh yeah.
And there's in the model that I'm learning, you can actually adjust inventory days and literally watch the impact on cash in your balance sheet. And it's fascinating. Like these like small turns on the dial, like, oh, all the cash is gone. Like, so it's a really cool illustration of that point Travis is talking about. And one reason why we're like, I can't do another MOQ of what, like 8,000 units.
I think it was 8,500.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Wait, okay. So you guys just gave the perfect picture for the past. How long has this gone? We're at almost just over 30 minutes. Over the past 20 minutes, the perfect visionary integrator display was just like, Doc is like, yep, we're going for it. It's an awesome product. It's great. Low MOQ. He's already ordered it. It's great. It's coming in. We're going for it. And he's like, nope. Here's the deal. Amazon sucks. They're shaking us down. We've got money over here. We're going to die. We're going to go broke. Then it's like they both kind of settle. And he's like, well, we do have 25K in the account. And he's like, yeah. And, Amazon does shake you down, but we got a good system. And it's like, all right, we're going forward. Yeah. And I've got a process for it. Okay. It's happening. It's like the perfect visionary integrator. You're seeing it live. You are seeing it live.
What do you mean we're not doing it, Deacon? I already set up all the marketing. It's already running.
That is like the visionary. We already ordered it to the moon. He's like, well, I still can't get over the $2,500 they want. Sorry. I love it. It's like the perfect thing that keeps the business going and doing really well. All right. Here's my next question. Can we talk about purchasing the next brand, or is there anything else you guys wanted to chat about? I don't have any more questions on what's going on in the Dr. Barry's world.
Let's do that next episode.
Next episode? Okay, cool.
And we can't talk specifics, but we can talk generalizations.
Yeah. So, well, guys, suspicion or suspense. Next episode, you get to hear more about our next purchase, question mark?
Hopefully we'll have a bunch of these coming through. This is
Yeah.
like just one. Man, if we hit a home run on our first like deal coming through this new kind of like deal flow system, be like, oh man, I put a lot of work in and the first one worked. Like,
Heck, yeah.
it'd be like you got like a whole day planned out with your realtor to go look at houses and you're like, perfect. First stop, bought it. Oh,
I love it.
Like-
I'm excited. I want to tell everyone everything, but I can't. All right,
And
Trav.
that's going to be
yeah.
coming a lot in the next episodes too. You're going to hear it a lot because we bought into a mastermind that is all about M&A, mergers and acquisitions. So you're going to be hearing a lot about that in future episodes, what we're learning there, how we're applying it, and then how it's benefiting both my agency that Justice and I work at, and then also the whole Freedom Brands as well. And so, yeah, we're going to get a lot of deals, going to get a lot of deal flow. We'll talk generalizations, but then when we actually buy one, we'll get specific about it.
Yeah, and I want to say this really quick to the listeners. You know, I've been encouraged because people will reach out to us, and I'll jump on a call with some of the people. We've got people listening to this podcast that are more on the acquisition end. They also want to acquire. So a lot of times in my mind, I've always just thought, oh, we're talking to people that are growing their brands and maybe they're getting close to a sale or they're early in the process. They want to watch how we do it so they can do it like us. But all the people that are wanting to make acquisitions, thanks for listening. And if you are wanting to be acquired, please reach out to us. I would love to chat with you if you're one of those brands that you've heard us go, we're thinking about acquiring this brand at this size, and you're at that size. Please reach out. I would love to chat to you. What's the website?
Freedombrands.net.
.net. Awesome. Sweet. Well, that's all I got from our end. Anything else from you guys before we wrap up?
See you in Columbus next week.
Heck yeah. Oh yeah. Doc, for anyone that doesn't know, what are we doing in Columbus next week?
We're having an event at my house. It's called PPC Funhouse. We're going to be going over a lot of things, but mostly it's going to be a mastermind. It's just going to be a group of us, about 25 people getting together, talking shop, overcoming their biggest business challenges. I'm going to be giving an intro and an outro talk, about 30 minutes long. Justice is going to be our lunch break, well, right after lunch break. And then Deacon's going to be the fly on the wall that spits knowledge, golden Scooby Stack nuggets every once in a while. That's how we met. And it's going to be a good time. We're going to have fun.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. We're stoked. Can't wait. You guys have a good one. We'll talk to you guys on the next episode.